Thanks for being a part of In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And we catch up with defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo to get his perspective on how the defense has played the first couple of weeks and what is going to be the biggest key or the biggest must to get a victory against the New York Jets in New York. Lou Anarumo is a Staten Island guy. He's going home. He's going to be seeing a lot of people. Pride's on the line. Family and friends. He's going to want that defense to play well. And I have a sneaky suspicion they will. Joe Flacco. Not your typical backup quarterback. The guy was MVP of a Super Bowl and has a big old ring on his finger. And have to get to Joe Flacco and make him a little bit uncomfortable. Don't let that big boy get comfortable spinning the pigskin. Thanks for joining us once again on In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. Again, in our outstanding studios with an outstanding human being, not just a dynamic football coach, an outstanding human being, defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for giving us some, sir.
No problem. No problem at all. Love being here, Lap.
So, the game starts out, I'm sure, not the way you were looking for it to start out. They go on a couple of long drives and put 14 on the board, and then you shut the door. What was it, Coach? Was it tweaks? Was it adjustments? Was it just guys executing better? Was it a combination of everything? What took place there, sir?
Yeah, I think it was just a combination of everything. I just think we missed some opportunities on those first drives to maybe make some plays that our guys normally do. And so, it starts with the fourth down play. We're off. They're really 3 and out. We stop them, and then we give up the fourth down. But there's other plays along the way that I think we could potentially have made a play or two. But and we tweaked a couple of things after that. And as you mentioned, they had not much going after that.
Defensively, as you grade where you are after the first couple of weeks, I mean, I can throw some stats out that I know you're acutely aware of, but our fans may not be at this point. But after 2 weeks, as I look at the league stats here, Cincinnati Bengals defense, 7th in total yards allowed, 7th in rush average allowed per snap, 5th in first downs allowed per game, tied for 4th in third down efficiency. Pretty good stuff, Coach.
Yeah, we just want to keep building on that. Appreciate it. The guys, like I said, the guys are doing a good job, and we just gotta do more and get more takeaways. We had a chance to, I say 3, but really 2 interceptions. Mike Hilton's on the sideline would have been an unbelievable catch, but the one caught Sam Hubbard by surprise. The ball that came where it, usually the quarterback doesn't throw it right to the end that's dropping, and so it surprised him just a little bit. And then Jesse had a chance maybe on one, but to Jesse's credit, he dislocated his finger and then popped it back in himself and didn't leave the field. So that's what kind of guys we got.
Man, that's saying something right there. No 2 ways about that. When you look at it, Sam Hubbard was a stat sheet stuffer. I mean, had the quarterback sack, had other hits on the quarterback. Just did a lot. And the other guy that gets credit and should get more, DJ Reader, 5 tackles, recovered that fumble. I mean, those 2 guys, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, along with Hendrickson. And you mentioned something, Coach, that was very interesting earlier in the week. Teams are paying attention to Trey Hendrickson, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of, the last time I saw, protection like this, that he's drawing was really in Miami when I was with Cam Wake, who's a, 100 sack guy in the league.
Yeah.
And so when I say that, I mean, he has the tackle, he has the tight end to his side that chips him before he gets out. Then the tackle and the back are all over there. So, he's dealing with that, and that's what happens when you have as many sacks as he's had over the last few years. So, which is opening the door for other people. But, we'll Trey's still got pressure through all that, and forced a couple of quick throws, had a couple of hits. So, we just got to keep going.
Yeah, he provides those one-on-one opportunities for his teammates. They got to take advantage of those, like you say. It's like somebody has to win somewhere for you. And guys, we're winning. I mean, a couple of times it looked like he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. But Cooper Rush did get the ball out pretty darn quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. There was a couple of third and mediums where he was really under duress, and Akeem was blitzing up the middle along with Logan wrapping around, and somehow he fit the ball in between those two, and leaving on the last drive, Logan tips the ball, and it tips the ball right to their guy. I mean, it was incredible, but it was kind of a little bit of that type of day. But you mentioned DJ Reader earlier, and I wish DJ would get more credit for what he does. We know how good he is, and I know he has the respect of the people that know around the league. But man, he plays so hard inside, and allows us to do some things that we wouldn't be able to do if we didn't have him.
Now let's move on to the New York Jets. They have a quarterback that is categorized at this stage of his career as a backup quarterback, but Coach, he's played a lot of football, and he's got a Super Bowl ring hanging off his finger, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Flacco's a starter. He started for, as you mentioned, for a long time.
Yep.
Guy's got a Super Bowl under his belt and played in playoff games. So we're not looking at him any other way than just the guy that's starting for them and treating them that way. And they've got weapons. They're ninth in the league in offense, and they've got skill on the outside with their receivers and some good tight ends, and their two backs are really, really good players. So, they've done a good job, and it's showing in their stat sheets, and they scored all the points that they scored last week. So
4 touchdown passes for Joe Flacco and a big comeback, a 1-point win on the road against the Cleveland Browns. And we know Cleveland's a solid football team. I mean, there were some mistakes that in hindsight, the Cleveland Browns I'm sure they handled differently, but got to give the Jets, they took advantage of time management and clock management issues and got a couple of scores late in that football game. Joe Flacco, not the most mobile quarterback in the world, that's for sure. But does he still see the field really well and get it out quickly, Coach?
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's his thing. He's always been a guy that, knows where he wants to go with it. It'll be out of his hand quick. And, so he's not going to hold the ball and take hits. He'll get rid of it. He's just a veteran guy that's played a ton of football. So while he's, as you mentioned, he's not the most mobile guy, but he can just get it out quick and move the chains that way.
What about them formationally? Are they real complex in that regard, or they do a few things really well, or do they just have a mass amount of things that you have to sift through?
No, they've got a lot. They'll feature 11 personnel, 3 wideout sets. They'll do a lot out of 12, 2 wideout sets with 2 tight ends, and then they have another formation that they use with both running backs in the game at one time, a tight end and 2 wideouts. So they do a bunch of different things, and they do it well. There's a lot of motions and try to get your eyes all messed up and throw play action off of it, and they do a good job of getting angles on you in the run game. So this is a good football team.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you don't have to go too far for a cautionary tale. I mean, you go back to last season, going to New York to play the Jets, and they obviously, got it done. They got a victory. So, guys, there's a bunch of guys that were part of that and are fully aware of it. There's no doubt about that. There won't be any problem getting guys focused and getting laser focused for this one. There shouldn't be anywhere, right?
No, I would know. When you're 0-2, every second matters. So, we're I don't see that being an issue at all. I don't think it was an issue last year. I think we'll I'm confident we'll put our best foot forward.
Got to ask you this, Coach. Everybody's hitting everybody up on social media about Dax Hill. The rookie. He played so well in the preseason, and I know every single week there are different game plans and things that are going to be employed against different offensive configurations and schematics. Dax Hill is going to play some football. He hasn't maybe played a ton yet, but can't argue with what you're doing defensively, Coach. Playing pretty darn good, aren't you?
Yeah, I just think as a rookie, he'll have a role in each game plan. Games play out differently. We had a few things we were going to do with him last week, but the game didn't play out the way that we thought it would, and they became more of a 12 personnel, less 11, and the down and distances on third down were a little bit shorter. So things play out maybe a little bit different than you practice. He'll be a part of each game plan, and then again, based on how the game's going, we'll determine how much he plays.
What are a couple of musts, Coach, as you look at this New York Jets game? What's your defense have to get done for you?
Well, we got to start fast, certainly faster than we did last week. Keep the crowd out of it. We know that Flacco's going to get rid of the ball quick, so we want to get on our matches quick, and then take care of their playmakers. They'll run 2 or 3 reverses in a game. They'll run. They hit us on a Philly special for a 2-point play. They hit Tampa on the same play at the end of the season. So they'll have some tricks up their sleeve. We got to handle that. These running backs are this rookie and the second-year guy are really good. So no running game, and we'll have our hands full. But our guys will be up to the challenge, I hope.
Coach, appreciate you very much. Can't thank you enough for carving time for us. I know this is a busy day. It's a big game plan day. Put together another great one, sir.
Will do. Thanks for having me as always, and let's go beat the Jets.
Beat the Jets. Let's ground the Jets, man. Don't let them get off the ground.
No
ground
doubt.
the Jets.
Make sure you get some pizza while you're up there, Lap.
Oh, I tell you, little thin crust. I mean, there's nothing better, right? You got any recommendations?
I'll send them to you.
I bet you got a few, huh, Coach?
Yes, I do.
A dog
Looking forward to it myself.
Gotta love it.
All right, guys.
Thanks. Have a great week.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.